guys, it's Jessica from Wandering Tent, and it's kind of been a little while since I talked about who we are and where we are and what we're doing and what's going on. So I figured I'd just make a little video and kind of recap what we're doing. So we're a family of four. My husband and I have been married for 17 years now, and we have two girls. One is 14 and one is almost 11, and they've always been homeschooled. I am a registered nurse. I work in the critical care department, and that's where I've worked for the last 15 years. My husband is currently working at home. So we grew up here in Summerville, South Carolina. We went to school here in Charleston, and we never left. And then 3 years ago, I was on a mom's weekend out, and my friend Rocher and I went to Western North Carolina, one of my favorite places in the world. And we ran into this couple at one of the places on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And they had essentially sold all of their stuff and bought a travel trailer and travel full time with their children. I think they have like 4 now, but at the time I want to say they had 2. And I just remember having an epiphany then. I was just, I don't know, something just hit me. I thought that is absolutely amazing, and that sounds like a dream, and why can't I do that? And through the course of the conversation, they found out that I was a nurse and encouraged me that I definitely could do that, especially being a nurse. So that kind of started a course of events. I got in touch with a nurse recruiter, and I essentially had a new job as a travel nurse a week later. The first 6 months I traveled within about 2 hours of my home, and it was kind of our testing out period. And once we did that, we sold a whole bunch of stuff. My husband sold his tractor, his trailer, his truck, and I worked there for 6 months, 2 hours away. And at that point, he quit his job, and we took our crew on the road full time. So in a 2.5 year period, we traveled to Arizona. Let me back up. We bought a 32-foot Coachman Freelander bunkhouse, and we pulled our van behind it, and we traveled to Arizona, then Washington, California, and then we came back home to the East Coast, and we parked the RV and we stayed in some apartments. We took company housing. We stayed in Florida, and then we were in West Virginia actually for almost a year. That's the longest we had stayed anywhere. While we were in West Virginia, we really got the pull to stay in one place. I should probably reword that. I got the pull to stay in one place. My now 14-year-old is an introvert, and I felt like I needed to give her somewhat normal high school experience, at least as normal as homeschoolers get, because they are still homeschooled, and they'll continue to be homeschooled unless something were to happen throughout high school. So I wanted to come home and give her some sort of, some sort of quasi-normal homeschool experience. So I wasn't really sure where that home was going to be. I just knew I wanted to stay in one place and kind of put in some roots. And my husband and I have talked about getting land in Western North Carolina for a very, very, very long time. Throughout our marriage, when we visited there, we just come home or been there and been like, why don't we live here? So we really started to talk about how we could make that happen. And so we actually were going to get a job in Greenville, South Carolina, close enough to travel to North Carolina, but that job fell through. And things just set up in such a fashion that we came home. I was able to get my job back at home, and obviously our house was here at home. And so what we've done is we've come home. And originally the plan was to stay until Christmas, get the house remodeled and renovated, and then put it up for rent. And then we got home, and we had really been wanting to homestead, like in a real way. We've had chickens in the past, and I've always been very passionate about learning things like canning and sewing and just like some of those homesteading skills. And so the very first thing we did was get chickens again. We already had the coop, we had the yard, and then we started gardening. We put in some raised beds and gardening in some areas that we already had set up. So, so we're homesteading on a small scale, probably a smaller scale than I want to. We've talked about getting goats, we've talked about getting pigs, we've talked about getting rabbits, and we just don't have the structure set up for that yet. And quite honestly, we need to put our time and our effort into actually finishing the renovations on our house, so that in the event that we do rent it or sell it, those things that need to be fixed will be fixed. We still really don't have a hardcore plan. The best laid plans of mice and men is the thing that really comes to mind. I am a big time planner, but so many times the plans just don't work out the way that you think. And I've kind of just been like, okay, Lord, we're here and we're gonna do what we're doing right here, right now, and I don't know where we're going from here, but wherever we go from here, we're gonna be okay. So that's kind of where we are. We are homesteading in the capacity that we can homestead at home. We still have a dream of owning property in North Carolina and homesteading. We love the mountains, and we've been on mission trips with a church up there, and we love the people, we love the community, and I feel like ultimately we hope to end up there. The problem we have too is that we love to travel. We love to go places and meet new people and see new places, have different experiences. Now, I should say I am an introvert. It's difficult for me to form new friendships, and definitely I've had to beef up those skills with traveling and things like that. But I do enjoy people, and it's just difficult for me to make some of those new friendships. But that's kind of where we are. Right now I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot because I am working on more peach preserves today, and I need more sugar and pectin. I went next door and I wiped my stepmother's supply out. I still didn't have enough, so I had to come to Walmart. I'll probably buy more jars and stuff while I'm here too. So yes, that is what we're doing, where we are. My husband is not so happy about being filmed, but I am hoping that he's going to let me film some of the remodeling, because I think I know that I enjoy watching people remodel, and so I'm in hopes that he'll let me film some of that, or maybe I can just film the process and talk about it. But he is finishing up on our daughter's fort, which is a Taj Mahal, and will be a whole new other video. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hopefully work on our living room. He's going to buy some extra supports because he's planning on putting more 2x6s in the rafters and kind of beefing that up. And we're going to take the whole ceiling out and our plan is to do like I just forgot the word for it. I did this yesterday too. Not beadboard, planking. We're going to do wood planking on the ceiling in the living room, and then we're also going to be taking out the floor. We're taking out the subfloor, just because it's not flat like it should be. So we're going to take out the subfloor and put new flooring down. I'm not quite sure what kind we're going to put down yet. Definitely not carpet, but it's going to be a really big project, because as we take out the ceiling, he's going to be putting up more rafters. We're going to be putting in more insulation. And then the same thing with the subfloor. We're going to be moving air conditioner vents is the plan. And then of course, probably putting in more insulation, and it's going to be a big, big project. So stay tuned. Hopefully really great things are in the works, and I'm really excited about what the future holds, but I'm really excited about my attempts to live in the present as well, because I tend to try to live in the future, and I'm trying to just be present where I am and enjoy where I am. And I absolutely love my coworkers. I love seeing my dad and my stepmother and my other family. They're right there, and I can see them as often as I want to, and that's great. I would say the number one thing that I don't enjoy about this area is the traffic. The economy is booming here, which is a good thing. The traffic is also booming too, which is not a good thing. So this is where we are. I hope that you will join our adventure and be with us as we figure out where we're going. You guys have a fantastic day.